Welcome to the February full moon and another Explore Everyday video. This year the snow moon was full on February 24th as I attempt an alignment from the St. Paul Airport with the historic 100-foot tall airway beacon on the river bluff at Mounds Park. That will be the second video of my two-part February moon adventure. In this video, I make two attempts to capture the nearly full moon the day before, which is my favorite day to photograph the moon. In the morning, I attempt an alignment with a water tower near my house with the setting moon. Later that evening, I return to my November composition, a wooded hillside with the moon rising through the skeleton-looking trees. We got a little glimpse of the moon right over there. I've got a spot scoped out where the moon's going to drop behind a water tower. I know, pretty exciting. But when you live in the Midwest, there's nothing tall. So there's our moon. There's our water tower straight ahead. So I think I have a spot at a warehouse where I can go set up. I was scoping this out on photo pills this morning. There's our moon with clouds. So I don't know if the warehouse has a gate or not, but we're gonna go find out. Okay, it's clear everywhere. Everywhere it's clear, except where the moon is. The moment of truth. Can I get to my spot? No issue whatsoever. So there's the moon, there's the water tower, and this does not look good. I gotta park, figure out a spot, and we'll get after it. All right, as you can see, we are completely clouded out over where the water tower is, but there could be some breaks behind it, so I'm gonna quick set up, just like we're gonna get the moon shot. I might have to move that way, since I've now lost visual of it. This was the spot I had marked on photo pills. Switching out to my 200 to 500 lens now to get nice and big. All right, so I'm set up. I got my focus in. The moon's gone. I think it's gone for the day. We're definitely gonna have to move this way. So I'm gonna come grab you, the camera, right now so I can reposition just in case, but we're screwed, man. There ain't gonna be any moon for yet another month. I don't even understand. I'm not even gonna grab any other cameras out of here. It's not gonna happen. All right, let me show this to you. So there's our water tower right there. And you can see we got clouds over there. Everywhere else, it's pretty clear. If the moon was pretty much anywhere else in the sky right now, I'd be taking a time lapse of it. But the moon is right there, and the only horizon clouds are right there. Yeah, so it's definitely over. There's not going to be any moon over there, so I'm going to try again this afternoon. I haven't even looked at the weather. I think it's supposed to be a chance of flurries today. We got a little cold front that came through. It's only going to be in the 30s versus the 50s. So I'm going to try again this afternoon. It's funny, I was laying in bed this morning whining to myself how the timing for the full moon rise for February is not good. Tonight the full moon rises like 50 minutes before sunset. So it's going to be very light out when the moon comes up. But it has been very bright in the sky this week. And tomorrow night on the actual full moon, it's rising 10 minutes after sunset. So it's going to be, getting dark. So the dynamic range is going to be really tough tomorrow. So not a good spread. I like to have that moonrise about 20 minutes or 15 minutes before actual sunset. That way you get those great evening colors. The moon's very visible, but it's not so dark out that the foreground landscape starts getting washed out. We got nothing. The moon sets at 7:00, right around 7. It's got to be getting close to that right now. So I'm going to try again this afternoon if we have clear skies. But right here, we have a bust. Holy cow, what do we have here? Clear skies and sunshine? It actually just cleared off in the last 20 minutes. So welcome to part 2 of the February full moon. We're back, part 2 of our full moonrise here in February. It doesn't look like February. We're back to brown season after a couple 7 inches of snow last week. It was 55 the last couple days. Today may be the coldest moonrise I have for the next 8 months. It's about 30 degrees. We're back at our target from November. The trees over on the horizon there. The moon should be coming up at 5:04 behind them. And I'm hoping to catch it with the 200 to 500. So I'm going to get this one dialed in quick. And then I still have my 70 to 200 that we're going to take elsewhere, hopefully. So this is kind of our line that we need to be in right now. It is going to be really bright when that moon comes up over that horizon yet. Sunset is at 5:40 and the moon's rising at 5:05. And according to photo pills, it should be going through my trees at about 5:20. So we have some clouds on the western horizon, so that might help block the sun a little bit. Hopefully we get the good belt of Venus colors over here. And I'm going to get this 200 to 500 set up. And we'll go from there. All right, so I made a last second change of decision here. So I have my 70 to 200 on this camera that I'm going to set up for a time lapse. I'm a little too close for my 200 to 500. So this is going to give me a little more wiggle room. So I'm going to get this one going. And then I'm going to walk back and see if I can find another position, which will work better for my 500 with the same set of trees or maybe the other tree that I have over here. The nice thing about this spot is you can isolate those trees on the ridge over there. If you get up higher or further back, the rest of the background starts coming into play, and then it's not quite as dynamic of an image. So that's what I'm fighting right now. But I'm going to get this one going because it is 4:57 and moonrise is at 5:04. So it's probably going to be pretty hard to see when it first comes up over the horizon, but I'm hoping it'll start brightening up by the time it goes through those trees. It's going to be close. It's been really bright the last couple nights when I've been kind of keeping an eye on what time the moon comes up and how it looks. So hopefully we're going to get that same brightness here tonight. All we can do is start, and I'm going to start my time lapse here now. All right, so I walked back about, 400 yards from where my 200 millimeter shooting. So I'm going to set up the 200 to 500 again. It is so bright out, and the moon is now risen. I don't believe I can see it. The one downside of this spot is there's actually a white round water tower that you can see through the base of one of the trees. It's always something, I tell you. So we're going to quick set up the 200 to 500 here. I had mentioned this morning the time for the moonrise varies every month. And we have a really rough time here in February, end of February. The moon's coming up at 5:04 and it's not sunset for another half an hour, and actually can see the moon coming up, if I'm being honest. There it is. It is going to go right through my trees. It is dim. Got to readjust all my settings here. All right, so we have a shot of the full moon. It should only get brighter as it comes up, but man, it's amazing how quickly the moon rises when you're trying to photograph it. And right now, I'm just hoping my other camera is in the right spot. It is cold out. I gotta put my gloves back on. I gotta figure out. So I'm not gonna run a time lapse on this one. I'm just gonna try to get a good shot. And it's just starting to come into my tree now. I'm gonna take a couple steps that way. All right, right here, that moon will come up right through the tree, but the tree branches are heavier than the moon, darker than the moon. So I can't even see the moon right there. The issue we're not into tonight is the moon is already going through my tree. I'm going to keep taking pictures here while I talk, but it's not going to get bright until it's too high in the sky and I can't tie it to the earth. Whenever I take my full moon pictures, I want to have a connection with the horizon and not just take a picture of the moon up in the sky. And there's nothing you can do about it when the moon rises 40 minutes before sunset. Not much you can do about it tonight. You know, on my first camera over there, I just guessed on the exposure. I overexposed to start, knowing it'll get darker and that exposure will catch up. So that one could be completely overexposed over there. We're gonna keep moving around here. I mean, the moon shows up on the back of the camera, but it's just not very bright. I'm trying to think how I can get this to have a more impactful shot. There's a downhill here, which should bring the moon back down closer to the horizon. So I'm gonna grab my bag and we're gonna go across country. All right, there's a little dip in the trees. I wanna try to get the moon in. Right there. Gotta go quick. Got it. Well, there you go. That is pretty much it for this camera here. I'm gonna grab you and we'll walk back to see how the 7200 is faring right now. I'm always amazed how quickly the moon rises. You'd think it would rip through the whole sky in like 4 hours. It's already way up there. Definitely getting brighter now. It would have been perfect if it was just coming up right about now. Let's go check on that other camera. All right, it's the moment of truth. Is the moon in the viewfinder? Yeah, we should have got it perfect. I'm gonna let this one keep running until the moon goes all the way through the viewfinder. Hopefully my exposure's good, I don't know, but we're gonna lose the sun here in about 2 minutes behind the clouds. That's gonna change our light dramatically, very quickly. There it is, beautiful February moon coming up. Might as well snap a picture here and get it in real tight at 500. So I've taken pretty much all the shots I'm gonna get here tonight. I can keep backing off. I'm at 300 millimeter, but it's just the same shot over and over again at this point. Now we're starting to get some of those twilight colors on the horizon, which I were hoping would be a little more noticeable earlier. Sun's behind clouds for the rest of the night. All right, I'm gonna run that way. I can get a little lower, maybe get one more perspective. Treacherous walking out here. Been some gophers or moles or something out here. Just going a quick walkabout. There's one more isolated tree over here we can maybe line up yet. Found our spot. Looks like we're shooting this at about 250 millimeters. Just starting to get those twilight belt of Venus colors coming in. All right, well this might be it for the February full moon. We had a cloud bust this morning and had a pretty good afternoon here. Got my 7200 shooting a time lapse, and I've just been running around with my 200 to 500 matching up with the trees over there. So I'm not sure I'm going to get out tomorrow morning. Got a basketball tournament to get to about 45 minutes away. So maybe tomorrow evening I'll get back out to chase one more moon rise. But the moon's rising about 10 minutes after sunset tomorrow. So it's already going to be darker than this when it comes up. So then the dynamic range becomes an issue. So this might be it. If anything turned out here, I'll put it up now. Thanks so much for watching. And if this is it for February, we'll see you in the March moonrise, and I'll actually be in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. See you then.